fall camp has started, and hashtag Year of the Visor, boys. It feels good to be back. I don't know about you, but I am fired up to just see some football, to have something else to talk about. I mean, we made it. You know what I'm saying? Like we made it. We made it through the dry months, and now it's here to showtime. So I'm gonna go over to Mr. Swoderquist here to talk about all good things fall camp, baby.
Yeah, man, these are all kind of word of mouth notes from some of the guys that have been out there and saw some of the practices. Some of them, they're on the Florida Victorious board. So if you have not joined Florida Victorious as a member, you can join today and save 20% on your membership, your first month's membership, with promo code Hightop. So just remember that. So if you do join, the Florida Victorious board, you can get some of these notes. And the fall camp notes so far that we have gotten, I said, Mers looked good, had one throw that may have been a little off, or somebody may have ran a route too late. And according to this, one of those was an interception, but I don't know, because a lot of people were telling me it was a different quarterback. I've also heard a lot of freshmen have looked good. Obviously, we've heard Dejon Johnson with the 2 pick sixes, but that was out on Twitter. Aiden Mazel's also looked very good, very quick, very explosive out there. Curious to see how they use him this year, if they try to save a red shirt or just use him for 4 games, or actually put him out there on the field the whole year. Billy Napier did say a lot of young kids would be playing this year. Najee Harris has looked really good so far at guard. I believe Austin Armstrong gave him a little bit of a praise too in the presser. Eugene Wilson's has been non-contact jersey, just running small routes in camps, just hamstring, on his, I don't know what they wear on their, I think it's just like a little brace that he has on right now, but he's been running against air mostly, not really in tackling situations or anything. And Andy Jean, I guess we've all seen the video of him kind of juking Kamari Wilson there. He's been very, very impressive early on. And that is about it. You got guys that are still limited, like Chakao Bowman, Eugene Wilson. Obviously, I just mentioned him, Brian Green Jr., Micah Mazuka, still recovering a little bit from his injury, but they said he should be available week 1. So I wouldn't be too concerned with that. And people absent from practice: Lindell Hudson, Cameron Waits, Caden Jones were absent from practice. These are kind of the notes that Zach Goodall left on SI too. So I got to give him a little bit of a shout out there as well. And I think maybe Connor has some more info for us there on the practices there too. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, not too terribly much. Unfortunately, our guys over at SI only get their 15-minute viewing portion during practices, so what they see is a lot of fluff, a lot of stuff that the coaches want them to see. Obviously, you're kind of getting that vibe that even though Billy hasn't named a starter, that Graham Mertz is going to be the guy moving forward. When you talk to the players and Bill, I'm sorry. When you hear the players talk in the press conferences, they pretty much have already accepted Graham Mertz as their guy. Jaden Hill's press conference, Montrell Johnson's press conference, both talked about his leadership and his ability to command the team and command the offense. So that's big time stuff that you have to have as a starter. And then I think the biggest takeaway for me from what I've seen over the course of the last few practices was Austin Armstrong's coaching press conference. You're always going to get a lot of words that don't give you a whole lot of context from Bill. He's very good at saying a lot, but revealing a little. So, but Austin Armstrong, I think, was probably my favorite press conference or favorite interview to watch and follow, because one, you can see the emotion and the energy that this guy exudes on a daily basis with these guys, and just the confidence that he has in himself at such a young age as a play caller, the confidence that he has in his guys over the course of just meeting and learning these guys from spring ball to now. And he's just been, I think, a breath of fresh air for the defense, a breath of fresh air for the coaching staff, and somebody that I think is going to really have a big impact on Florida this fall.
Yeah, I mean, obviously his press conferences are electric. They definitely fire you up. And like you said, Bill is very vanilla with his press conference, but he's got a little swagger about him this time than he usually does, which I've been enjoying lately. And
yeah. If you go to, like, if you watch some of the stuff at the SEC media days, he was even saying that, like, I think there's going to be some surprises that nobody, knows about. And he's kind of smiling when he says it. And I mean, you hear it from a lot of the players. I mean, like, every player that's had a presser so far they've all said more togetherness, more buy-in, guys
Yeah.
playing more aggressive, Armstrong having more energy, more chemistry, renewed accountability with the team. I mean, it's very different from last year because, and it's not to insult any of the former Dan Mullen guys. I mean, you have a head coach that gets you used to a habit. It's hard to break that habit. So those kids that had those habits are gone. You got new transfers in, new blood in. So it's a little bit different now, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think, and I'm a victim of this too. We got to quit worrying about hurting the other person's feelings because I do this a lot too. I would hope the same thing happens next year, right? That we're talking positive. It's never a shot. It's just, look, things are moving in the right direction. They're closer. Things are clicking more. It's never intended to be a shot. And I get what you're saying. You're saying it because it's happened before. We make a comment and everyone's like, oh, well, what are you saying? I'm just saying shit's better. It's not because, it could be because of those people. And if you feel that it's because you've left or because of those people, that's your insecurities that you're reflecting on me. But that's neither here nor there. I think a lot of it is that the guys that are there now are more bought in. And I think the process that he talked about on his Sunday presser that we talked about on Sunday's show is they're rooming with one another. They have a random roommate. I don't know if you guys saw the Justin Boone interview where they asked him how's rooming with Trayon Webb. And he's like, yeah, he's got his ladies. Just completely just trash my man. Only thing I'm thinking of is Trayon heads back to the room, picks his phone up, and he just what's he mean, your ladies? You know what I'm saying? And each lady is hitting him with, who's he talking about? Like, we fucking out. And support Trayon there. You know what I mean? Just not necessarily that he's got game. I'm just more concerned that you've now exposed his game. You know what I mean? But I think with Justin Boone, he's got like the veteran presence. He's going to take his shot, and I think that's what that was. But I think that's great. They're also, when they go to their cafeteria and they're eating, no phones are allowed. And in a world where that is your lifeline, to take that away, especially the kids at these age, it's huge. You're forcing people to talk. So I think, Buddy's wearing a cutoff hoodie. You could have just literally said that, and I'm like, yeah, we're good. Like, that could have been fall notes, and we could have moved on. But you guys are much more detailed, and I appreciate that as usual. But yeah, look, good stuff. I'm excited. I mean, it's the first few days here, so I think literally, like I said, I'm just happy to have something to talk about, to be honest with you. But last little bit here, Connor, and then we'll let you go, man. Again, appreciate you always hopping on here. Tell them where they can find you before we move on to this last topic, though, and so they can keep up with you, man. Because again, your tweet game is always on point.
Yeah, I know. So really, just social media as far as that goes, it's just Twitter, or X now, if you want to call it that. At Connor Clark with SI with Brandon and Zach, who always do a fantastic job. Just hit 9,000 followers not too long ago, so I'm on the road to 10,000. So if any of you do not follow me, please do so. I'm trying to get to 10K before the end of the season.
And we've got 450 people in here. It's got to be because Hollywood's here. I mean, there's only one explanation for it. So